Okay, let's get started. We have to go back to December 2021 for this. I had just moved to New Plymouth to do my last internship at Methanex before heading back to Malaysia for good. That's where I met Ryan, who invited me to join Frisbee. I did, and that's when I met this cute boy with dimples and freckles, and he was wearing a pair of bright green spikes. I really loved his tattoos, and I started talking to him about them. The conversation kept going, and we got to know a little bit about each other. On our third meetup, he proposed a crazy idea that we both should get matching tattoos. I agreed, obviously. He asked for my number, and I gave him. My dense brain had no idea that he liked me. I got invited to Gavin's 21st, and I hesitated to go as I barely knew anyone there. Something made me go. I was really nervous, but I felt so much better when Ethan came up to me at the door and said hi. We hung out, I got drunk, we went to the beach, I talked to Ethan about the moon a million times. We spent the night together in his cute little tent, and I don't remember much, honestly. What I do remember though was having an awesome conversation with him next morning. He asked me out and we went on our first date. We watched a movie, had Indian for lunch, then headed to the beach where we again talked for a while. We then went back to mine, room number 833 at Pim's. We were just so excited to know more about each other. We kept seeing each other every single day since then, and before I knew it, he had already moved into mine. I met his nana, mom, stepdad, and his stepsisters like 3 days after we started seeing each other. Not gonna lie, it was all too much for me, but I was just embracing it. I remember hugging him in the car after meeting his family for the first time. I was just so happy. Summer was just so much fun. We loved spending time doing things together, playing frisbee, having cook-offs, going on a hiking trip with friends, and so much more. We knew a decision had to be made at some point. Ethan told me that he would not want to do long distance during the hike. It broke me. Deep down, I just thought this could have been something more. The next day, we declared our love for each other. We talked it out and we were happy to end our relationship when I leave. I remember saying this to him: I love you, but I will be fine without you. A week later, when I picked him up from Auckland Airport with his favorite Krispy Kreme donuts during his transit, he told me that he had changed his mind. He wanted to give this a go, leaving me all confused. Not long after, on my way to pick Ethan up from the airport, I crashed my car. Ethan and his family saved me. My life at this point was just so chaotic, with me having to move back to Malaysia, sorting out my flights, finishing up my internship, and attending interviews for a role in Petronas. Ethan was there all along, and amidst the process we realized how much we loved each other and decided to give long distance a go. We discussed about our life goals, personal beliefs, and values, and we thought it was worth a shot. I left New Zealand on 1st March, and we've been doing long distance since. Ethan said he will move to Malaysia for me, but at that point it did not really sink in for me. 2 months later, I came back to New Zealand for my graduation with my parents. I was so happy to see Ethan after a while. He wrote me a poem and gave me very special gifts, and that was when I realized what we had was so much more. I made my parents fly to New Plymouth to meet Ethan's family. It was his idea to do so, and I'm glad that happened. My parents were not the biggest fan of him, but they saw the life I had built in New Zealand for myself. I left to Malaysia to start my job at Petronas. After about 100 days of being apart, Ethan came to Malaysia to see me. We had so much fun together, fought a lot too, and Malaysia helped him understand me better. The place, the food, the society, he learned so much about Malaysia, and he adapted so quickly here. He was taking the trains, filling gas for the car, and buying groceries all by himself. He visited my parents and my brothers too. And this time, it was so much better. We had a cook-off, played badminton, had durian, and even went on a trip together. And my parents were just so much more comfortable around him. Amma even teared up when he left. Before he left, he said he loves being here and that he wants to move to Malaysia March next year. Both of us cried at the airport, and it was really hard for me to let him go. This trip was the turning point for me in my relationship. I knew this was something I want to hold on to as long as I can. Fast forward to today, it's been 3 months since he left. I will be flying to New Zealand next week to celebrate Christmas with his family. I can't wait to get butterflies all over again when I see him waiting for me at the airport. I know I said what I said, but I've changed my mind now. So much can happen in a year. Ethan, I love you, and I am not fine without you.
I fall in love with you a little bit more, little bit more. Every time I think I've lost my way, I fall in love with you a little bit more, little bit more than before.